Hello, Dr. Niikee here. So in the last video in this series, I spoke about patterns of energy or archetypal patterns that can exist within our energy fields, based on different attitudes, beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. They can change over time as well, depending on, what's happening within us that gets reflected in what's happening in our energetics, which then creates the world around us as well. This video, what I wanted to dive more into is that wider relevance of dis-ease and disharmony that we can identify within our physicality or within our minds as well. And so in the last video, I also spoke about density and how when we're holding lower frequency thought forms, the energy moves more slowly. And when the energetic frequency is lower, which means the energy is moving more slowly, it creates density. And so density is lower vibrating energy. And what this does is it disrupts the smooth flow of energy within our physical. We often think, our energy fields are just around us, but it's all the way through us too. And so what happens is when we hold certain attitudes, beliefs, quite often they're not even ours. They can arrive through our DNA, through our family lineage, which you can probably relate to as well. And also from our environment, because, energy comes into resonance with itself too. And so even though, we may have had certain beliefs growing up, if we've then spent time in other environments, we can start to move more in line with this new environment, particularly over time, because this is just the way that energy works. And you'll find that if you move to a place where you're not in resonance, and you'll start to have discordance and disharmony within your body. And so you'll either stay and create more issues, or that will be a sign for you, that's not in alignment. It doesn't necessarily mean it's right or wrong or good or bad in those instances. It's just more with what's in alignment with your particular being. And so, what the cool thing, or not really cool thing, but what physical problems can be in the body, whether it's aches or pains or disease, is that it's actually the body giving us signals and signs about where energetic density might be being held within our energetics. And so what that then shares with us is what's actually deeper than that. So what's happening at the subconscious layers to create this energetic disharmony, which over time, if it's not addressed or dealt with, begins to affect the way that the physical body works. And so it starts to move into dis-ease over time. And, it's really not even as complicated, as it sounds too, because say, for example, things like back problems. So the back is, what does the back do? The back is our support. And so often with back problems, there's some type of awareness around lack of support in a person's life, which can then manifest as problems with the back. Things like shoulder issues, holding the weight of the world, where is there overdoing on the doing side or overfeeling on the left side? The overdoing is the right side, because that's the overdoing is is the right side, which is the left brain, which is our overdoing, and vice versa for overfeeling. Have we been taking on too much of other people's emotions? Will manifest in the left shoulder. And the amount of times I've seen this as well playing out with clients, it's I have no doubt that, sometimes people may not be aware that that's actually what's happening. But, if you actually sit with it, and with what is actually happening on the deeper layers in a nice, open, non-judgmental way, you can actually see how it relates in some way to what's happening on the deeper layers within as well. Another really useful system is the chakra system. So you would have heard of the chakra system before. So they're those portals of energy that exist where our nerve plexes are along the spine. And, these nerve bundles literally feed into organs in that particular area. And so, when we have issues in a particular area in the body, we can actually see which energetic portal exists closest to that. And then whatever the lessons of that chakra are, is what then is often at play within that person's life as well. And, when we just then work with treating the physical, often things don't go away because we're not addressing the underlying cause. And, the underlying cause being what's happening deeper than that, what's happening in the subconscious. So a good example of that is, say, heart problems, which are, such a big issue worldwide. Heart issues are still the highest cause of morbidity and mortality in the world, followed by cancer. Those two have been up there for decades now as well. And so, heart. And so when we look at the energetic heart, what that energetic heart is about: compassion, unconditional love, about community, tolerance, acceptance. And so you can sort of see here where, forgiveness, those sorts of things, they're all energetics of the particular heart space. So, what's happening, what's deeper than that? When we think about thyroid issues, what happens in this throat space, the thyroid, it's expression. Where are, people not feeling heard or not feeling that they're able to express themselves properly? It's absolutely fascinating. And, even other traditional systems of medicine, like traditional Chinese medicine, has always, associated or been aware of how emotions affect the functions of the different organ systems as well. So say, for example, they talk about worry is housed in the stomach. And so, a lot of digestive issues with people over worrying. What happens when there's stress? Overthinking, over worrying affects the digestion, and you just see it play out on so many levels. Back to the heart, they talk about an imbalance of joy, that creates issues with the heart. So, potentially, a lack thereof to be able to find joy is going to stifle or create density in the energy in that particular space. And then so it starts to break down and disease, dis-ease, that's why it's called dis-ease, going out of ease becomes to be created, within our bodies. Anyway, so I hope that you find it as fascinating as me. I have a new free ebook that I've just written where I go into a lot more detail about these topics. It is available on my website. So you can reach it there at www.drniikee, DRNIIKEE, the way I spell it, .com. And yeah, you can download your copy there. Anyway, much love to you. Don't forget, reach out anytime you have any questions. I'm always happy to have a chat. Bye.